Hello to all the beautiful queer superheroes out there, and welcome to yet another episode of the Queer Superhero Show with myself, MonD, the queer superhero, baby. Woo, 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 woo! Listen, I always hype myself up all the time because I have to. Queer people are taking over the world and they're doing it in the most amazing and authentic way, and I think it's such a beautiful thing to see. And to be able to be part of that because of social media and how it's moving, it's so empowering. And I just love how we are occupying different industries and we're doing it in the most authentic way. And my guest today is somebody who I love so much, and I've loved even prior getting to the house because I knew the person before that. So I'm just like, yeah. This is an actor, a creator, a Big Brother Mzansi contestant. Like Big Brother, we're within Sis Tamera.
Yes. Obviously.
Magayensu.
With an
Baby. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it so much. Like, for me, it's just an honor to just get to be graced by your presence because of who you are and what you represent for me and many other people out there. Because for us, it wasn't just about you being on Big Brother, but it's just about the existence of who you are as a person and the impact that has on our lives, and other people's lives and young people out there who are watching you. So thank you so much for coming to the show. So listen, on this show, we often start off like our conversation by saying, how do you identify? So for instance, I'll say, I identify as a genderqueer person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. So yes, Sis Tamera, how do you identify and what are your pronouns?
This one is always tricky for me because it's like, where do I begin? But I'm gender non-conforming.
Yes.
So they, them, he, she. No, my ninja. I mean, for me, it's whatever energy that you get from me. Then, because I've always felt so defensive when someone would address me as "Sabona sis," and I'm like, but I'm like, okay, and then Sabona, so it's always a thing. For me, it's whatever that you feel. Run with it.
I love
I'm comfortable with everything and anything that.
I love that. So, yeah. That is so beautiful and so empowering for a lot of people to understand, because I feel like as queer people, we're not existing in the binary. So you're allowed to be able to express yourself and to say, address me the way in which that I want to be addressed. That makes me feel comfortable as well. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and also for me, it's just breaking away from the expectations.
Yeah.
If I identify as he, I'm expected to dress in a certain way. To act in a certain way.
Very true.
So it's just, no mind doing as a guy. Because also I'm still learning what that means for me. So
I love that. Can you actually take us back to the beginning? I mean, I think for me, I'm very interested in people's stories and where they come from and how they came to be who they are today. So I want to go back to the earliest memory when you became aware that the way in which you navigate through society is not the same as other people.
Yeah.
Because I think this is something that we've always been aware of from an early age. Yeah. And it either can be within our own recognition, but it can be society pointing certain things about us when we were a certain age that make us aware that we navigate life differently. So can you take us back there?
And for me, it's funny that you say that because for me, I was told that I was gay even before I even understood what that meant.
I was so terrified of the word gay.
And because there's a shame that came with it.
Yeah.
So and because I had a big bum, I guess.
I also had a big bum!
It was always the thing of, I went, hey, you are this, and I never understood what that meant, so I was already trying to run away from that. So as I grew up and just looking at boys, not even thinking or sexualizing it, but just knowing there's something there, man. It was, we can't have these thoughts, and I literally forced myself to sleep because of these thoughts that would seep
that you're having.
So, but going back to the question, I think when I actually started realizing it was as earliest as primary, but I never understood what it meant. I just knew that, okay, when I see Raymond, for instance, I feel some type of way.
Some type of way about it!
And also because people expect me to be attracted to girls. Because also I was always put in a position where I had to choose. I enjoyed playing with guys, I enjoyed playing with girls. But every time I wanted to go play with girls, it was always a thing, So I always had to show up for the boys to just show that I'm part of the whole thing. So as early as primary, but it was never a thing that I understood what it meant. And growing up then, it would happen that, okay, as a bandwana, you start drinking.
When you get to teenage phase, teenager phase, you're rebelling. Now everybody's hormones are being activated. People are starting to have wet dreams. People are just
wet dreams. So you get drunk, and then you fool around with the boy.
Yeah.
Because you were drunk, and then in the morning you don't say anything about it. But then so and also this other guy, I was still young, actually came to me. It was during the whole Jason and Senzo thing.
Yeah.
And he actually asked me out. He's like, "I'll be Jason, you'll be Senzo."
Oh,
I cried. No.
That is so cute.
No, at the time it wasn't.
Because he was just like, what the fuck, what do you mean?
Yeah. And I went to my mom, I'm like, yo, this is what's happening. And then she's like, so now you're going to play into what people are saying.
Yeah.
So that's when I actually closed that whole I could be queer thing. But I think I've always realized that there was something different. But at the time, I did not know it was me being different. It was literally just me just trying to exist and
experience life. I mean, talking about your mom, I mean, I'm very keen to find out who are the very first few people that you shared with when you then started to go through the journey of acceptance. And like, okay, now I'm kind of like, I'm certain that this is real. This is not just me like, oh my God, it's wrong, whatever. And who do you tell? I mean, like a lot of us, that thing is so important, because now we're sharing who we truly are and who we've accepted about ourselves. So I'm very keen to find out who are those people.
Oh my gosh, oh my Lord. So, it's quickie stuff. Actually, no. So, I went to an all boys, right?
Wow.
And there were these
that is interesting.
individuals that were openly queer.
Oh, in the boys' school.
In the boys' school.
That's so cool.
And I think it was around the time where I was slowly getting to a place of acceptance of self or understanding of self, because I came out as bisexual because I was still trying to understand what's happening with me. So I joined the choir and I was chilling with them, and I'd have conversations with them. I'd laugh my ass off. I was like, actually, everything that I've been taught about queer people or gay people, it's people. It's more than that.
Beautiful point.
And I started I had this friendship that I created with them. Then I'd start asking the questions I'd want to understand more, And I was like, actually, I feel like this is me. You know? But still, I don't know what it means, and I thought I was bisexual. And then what happens.
When you put two together with the thing.
And then there's this other one guy. I'm not gonna mention his name.
This guy.
I had a thrush on that guy, man. And then I remember this one evening I was chilling with my cousin. It was actually two of my cousins, Mzansi and Sisip, and for some reason, the conversation gravitated towards who's your crush? Because I think they knew, because they saw the guy's picture on my phone because I was stalking the guy.
You crush on someone and then you put their picture on as your wallpaper or something. Like, I did that. Guys, I did that. It's okay.
I used to stalk him, and I think I saved one of the pictures.
I also do that.
So, and then she told me her crushes.
And
then I was like, actually, I want to write down my crushes. I wrote down all the girls. And at the end, it was the guy's name. And they're like, we knew it. So that's how I came out, I suppose. And those are the two people that I first shared what I was experiencing at the time.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. The whole thing was beautiful.
Because also you just landed on a cushion where there were people who were very accepting in that regard and who are so welcoming to you. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And you mentioned such a beautiful thing about, it goes back to that thing that I always emphasize to people, that queerness is a journey, and that you might identify as a particular thing now, but as you begin to understand yourself and understand the community that we exist in, then you begin to say, oh wow, this is how I actually identify, this is how I actually want to be addressed. And I think that's the beauty of it, and the fact that a lot of people didn't have access to that, and a lot of the times it's all about informing people and making sure that we give them the knowledge by just merely existing, because you yourself are educating people.
And also I feel like people should be allowed to evolve into self.
Because
now, just because I came out as bisexual, so gay, but you had a girlfriend, so what? And now I'm pansexual. Why? I should be allowed, man. It's my living, it's my life. Because we learn so much about self, every day, and we keep evolving every day. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. So where sexuality is concerned, why should now it be a thing that's not dynamic? Because sexuality for me, it's
a spectrum.
It's a spectrum, and I should not be forced to pick and choose what I should be or who I am.
Very true.
Can we just allow people to be themselves and find themselves within that journey?
That journey, A lot of the times people have this kind of narrow mind about the community. I find that a lot of the times people who are struggling with their identity per se, they don't have a great understanding of the community. They have one singular view.
Yeah.
You know, people just think, it's femme, it's queer. I don't really identify with that. That's what it is, you know. And I'm like, you really don't know it. If you really think that it's just this feminine thing that's pushed, then you really know nothing. You know, because there's a plus at the end for a reason. You know, because it's meant to include people. It's meant to say we're ever extending and ever evolving, you know, and I think that's the power of it and the beauty of it. Now, I want to talk about prejudice. You know, prejudice is a very prominent theme within our community. It's something that often occurs in many different ways. It can be microaggressions that people express towards you, that you see, this person is not creating a safe space for me. You know, have you experienced any kind of prejudice? And please, if there's a particular, you know, incident that you can share with us, I'd appreciate that so much.
Oh my gosh. First and foremost, there's a little community prejudice.
Listen, prejudice. No. Discrimination.
I can't be out here.
Discriminate. No, I love you for that. Oh my God, that is so inclusive. Like, that's such a beautiful moment.
I might be thinking you mean prejudice.
Like, discrimination. Has somebody ever judged you, made you feel uncomfortable? Really, kind of just like, you know, and had it ever? Because sometimes people experience it in the physical sense, you know, and sometimes people experience where people will tuga you, they'll say offensive things to you. I'm very keen, like a particular incident that you can remember of that experience and how it actually made you feel.
Yo, all the time, on a daily actually.
Wow.
And I think that's why I've struggled with being femme. Myself, because
even me,
it's unacceptable.
Even a car, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a sense of shame.
Again, shame. So on a daily, man, and it's sometimes it's not it's even from people that don't even realize that they are doing it. It's like me saying that just because you're queer, you're not exempt from being queer.
Very true. Very true.
So even within the community, I've experienced it. It's like, oh my gosh, why nails? Why?
Internal homophobia.
So, I have. I live in Joburg. I live in town.
Right. We live in the CBD.
I walk city girl. So I'd literally be walking and I'm actively trying to hide. Like, I have a hoodie on. But now for some reason my walk, I have a bounce to my walk.
I meet you all the time.
Like, taxi drivers all the time. Like, dude, like going to I remember I went to a MTN rank just at the time. I'm trying to catch a taxi to Midrand. And I was wearing this wife beater. I was feeling myself.
Dude,
the guys were not like, dude. Because they literally were like, man, I'm like, guys, I'm a person. So there's so many instances where I've experienced it. Like I went back to my high school a few years back. I went to get my certificate. I had blonde dreadlocks at the time. I had piercings because I had like 3 piercings this side. I was wearing this torn up jersey and I was feeling myself.
You're feeling sexy, baby.
Joburg, guys.
This is the city. I'm a city gay. I'm a city queer.
The looks. Actually, the principal at the time told me that had I met him, if he was the first person that I met at the office, he was not going to help me.
Wow.
Looking like this. Like, there was so many things he was saying. I was like, guys.
You lie. A school principal?
And when I was at that school, it was different because now conformity.
You have to dress with the same as everyone, you know.
But now I'm slowly finding myself, and I come back as this young adult that is slowly trying to find themselves within the world. And the first thing they said, even the 2 ladies that I believe were very racist, they were giving me looks. They're like, oh, it's like, when someone looks at you, So I was like on a daily. But for me, I've made the choice to not allow it to own me. I am human at the end of the day. I do feel some type of way, especially when I'm
and it gives you a lot of anxiety as well, you know.
It's like going into spaces now, how I need to act in a certain way. Because now, just as long as at least you know. So it's
a lot to deal with, right?
It's a lot.
I mean, have you ever been in a space where you felt like you had to perform masculinity just to fit in? Like, I remember I used to do that. Like, I would like wear a suit or something formal, like just so that I can make people feel comfortable. And I remember how it made me feel so uncomfortable, like having to do that, because I'm like, but this does not express how I feel as a person, you know? And it's just so heartbreaking to be in that position where you now cannot fully be yourself in a space. And I've gotten to a point where I don't want to be in a space where I don't feel like who I am is not celebrated or is not welcomed, you know, because the moment I feel that, I just don't want to be there anymore, you know. And I realize that as queer people, we don't need to compromise ourselves anymore. If somebody doesn't accept us, if somebody doesn't welcome us, we don't need to be there.
And for me, it's not even about accepting me, because whether you accept me or
not, I'm still going to exist as a person.
You need to acknowledge that I'm here and I'm going to take up the space.
Literally.
So I have played into that, like, for the longest time, because especially, like, you know, with guys, like, for me, like, in Nancy, we can't even have a conversation. It's like when I'm back home and you're tavern and we have a conversation like, I'm but I'm like, guys, just because I'm queer. You thought it's
am I going to be a horrible person?
Like,
everybody, like, really?
I'm able to hold conversations. And if we there's a funeral, now there's a certain way
that you have to perform. I've also felt that, you know, with culture, in a sense, you know, you get to, and this leads to my next question also, to talk about how being black and queer, there's so many complexities there, you know, because a lot of us as queer people who are African and black, there's the cultural element to it, and there's also the religious element to it that our black families take so serious, you know, which very often are very gendered and divided, and men are supposed to behave this way, women are supposed to behave this way. You know, how was it navigating that in the family structure? Like, I can just imagine that on its own, you know.
One thing I will do, I will rebel.
They know.
I will follow the rules, but when I get to a point where I feel like I can't do myself anymore, it's useless. I'm sorry. So for me, I'm really starting to enjoy my culture, and I'm hungry for my culture.
And you have to be proud of it because it's yours.
But for the longest time, I'm not supposed to. It's I had just recently came back from the mountain, and you know, I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Where does my sexuality have to do
with me? Just like the practices that I believe in as well.
So for me, I'm at a point where I won't allow people to box me again. Because that's what they do. Or I think that's why I always overexert myself, and I need to always prove myself that I'm just because I'm queer does not mean I'm an invalid. I can do what you can do. Probably even 10 times more than you. Do it, because it has nothing to do with me being queer, but rather me not as a person. So I'm enjoying culture, and it's a journey that I'm slowly, like, but surely, like getting into. And for me, I'm reshaping what that means
for you,
for me as a queer person.
Beautiful,
you know?
beautiful.
And also what I've seen is that, especially back home, people are willing to be taught. So by it's not like how it was back in the days. Like now they are open to conversations, so they get to know you beyond that. And okay, hi man, they like saying this. Hi man, we in daughter must.
You know,
but I'm like, guys, it's just because I'm attracted to men.
Does not
like I cannot carry out these duties. You know, and also teach me
as well. Let's teach each other.
I
think a lot of the human experience is constant unlearning. You know, because the things that we have learned, you know, are not necessarily the truth of how we should depict or live our lives. You know, so it's so important for us to constantly unlearn. And I think I realized that about queerness. You said something so important and so beautiful about how we learn something new about ourselves every day. And I think for me, that's just a beautiful connector to just like everything that we are about, you know? That's beautiful. I mean, thinking about how deeply entrenched the Xhosa culture is in general. Like, I mean, I actually just want to, I mean, I can imagine, I remember when Inleba was trending. And how much that caused so much, you know, like talk and conversation, and people who were prominent leaders within the cultures felt that, you know, the movie in itself was somewhat disrespectful or anything of that sort. But I thought, for me, that was just very belittling of a human experience, because queer people are still part of your culture, you know, and they are your children, they are your friends, they are your neighbors, they are people who live in your communities. And so it's important for you to acknowledge them within your culture, you know, because I felt it was such a denial of your existence.
And guys, whether we like it or not, people already know.
Right?
It's just that there was a queer aspect to
it. That's the only thing that they were upset about.
How many dramas have been there
depicting that?
Depicting the same thing. It's just that now there's this queer aspect that's introduced, which is lived experiences of queer people.
Yeah.
And now it's a thing of people pick and choose what they want to focus on.
Very
and
true.
Very true. Unfortunately, that's the thing. Because for me, we needed a film like
we
that.
We needed a film like that to be able to cause the conversation that we're looking for. Now, I want us to talk a little bit more about like mental health. You know, a lot of the times, because we've spoken about, we've spoken about, kind of prejudice and what that does. We've spoken about growing up in an environment where people are not accepting, how often when you embody your femininity, like there's like a kind of anxiety that comes with that, because every day people are always calling you names. People are always saying, all of these different things that kind of just build so much mental drain, and mental suppression that we often go through. And I think it's so important for people not to neglect that. And I'm very keen to find out, have you dealt with mental health issues and how have you navigated that, even in your past and to where we are today?
Oh my gosh, oh my lord. I love how you're just like laughing about this because
it's something you had dealt with.
So I don't think I have, but because also me, I'm such a fixer.
Yeah.
So I need to be in control all the time, and I think it goes back to again being ostracized all the time. About just assuming you can't do things on your own. So I always try to fix things, and I'm always the one that is going to check up on you.
But also the people that check up on other people need support and love.
So if I feel some type of way or I feel like there's something that's happening, so I'm the type that's going to sit down. Okay, I'm going to have a conversation with myself. How are we feeling? Why are we feeling like this?
Yeah.
How do you go about it? Okay, let's go for a run. Let's do this.
I
let's
love
do this.
that.
But I know that it's not in. I know now it's not enough. But for me, for instance, going to therapy, it's never really been a thing that I wanted to go into because growing up, it's like when my mom got married to my stepfather, everything that was happening there, and me now coming out as queer, how therapy or seeing a psychologist was introduced to me. So I was already like, no, are you trying to fix me? What's happening now? So the relationship I had with that is like, nah. But now I'm at a point where I understand
it. Yeah, the importance of it. Yeah.
I need to go to therapy. I need to, but apart from therapy, what I do, I especially where substances are concerned, I need to know when I need to cut down, know when I need, because again, running, working out for me.
Me too. It helps me a lot. Your running is my best support. Because I just tune in.
Yeah, and also just being honest with self. Like, we run away from ourselves
a lot,
which is it's gonna fuck you up mentally. Because and for me, that's my starting point. I need to I started having honest conversations. Honest and authentic conversations with myself. If I'm being a transphobe, for instance, I need to deal with that. I need to have that conversation with myself before I have it with the next person. That way, it's easier for me to even have conversations with the next person.
Yes.
Mental health and stuff like that is concerned.
That is so beautiful. I mean, I think, it's so amazing hearing you kind of describe the transition of how you never really believed in it, especially considering the traumatic things that you've also gone through, having your parents separate, having to deal with all of those things. And there's a lot of impacts on that, and I think a lot of the times, even me, I'll be honest with you, and I've spoken it quite a countless times on this platform, that I'm like you, I'm such a superhero. Like, this name just stands. I'm always, let me be there for people, let me be whatever, I'm the rock, I'm the queen, I'm writing, I'm whatever. I think there's also something very wrong with believing that you're always okay, and that you're always the one who's stronger and taking up on other people, because that led me to a psych ward, because I never thought I'd ever be crumbling or being in a position where now I am vulnerable and now I'm not feeling who I am and understanding myself, and now I try to move away and I put my mental health before anything else.
And you should.
Yeah, because when I put my work in front, it's compromising me, because it takes my time, it takes my hours, it takes my daily breath. I don't even have a moment to breathe. Yeah. And a simple thing just as breathing is so important to just stimulating your mental health.
You see, you always find yourself
tense.
You don't even realize it. And then you get that one moment where you can just relax. It's like, and for me, being vulnerable just amounted to weakness, and that's how I've always been.
Yes, you see what I'm saying? Vulnerability, crying. A lot of queer people come to me. Yeah, they come to me and they're like, "MonD, how are you so vulnerable with people? How are you so?" And I'm like, "Yo, I've learned that I don't have to be strong all the time.
All the time, yeah.
I don't have to always be thinking that, I'm the tough whatever." And a lot of us queer people build that because society tells us that we cannot be ourselves. So we say to us, F you, I'm gonna be me. And also having to always build that tough mechanism, it's not a great thing. Yeah. It's a lot, right?
It's hard.
It is.
And I think it's also guys, yazin, but it's like sorry. It's like the moment you come out as queer or you are openly queer, you are really weak.
Yeah, literally.
Men
so
obviously,
you are 10 times stronger.
Also,
women.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna show the fuck up, but you don't realize the pressure that it comes with, and now having to constantly be
brilliant, excellent, always be the survivor, the whatever. You don't always have to be surviving, and I'm learning that every day of my life. It's like you don't always have to be the tough one. You don't always have to be surviving. A lot of the times we always feel inclined to always want to be surviving, always want to be great, brilliant. Somebody even asked it the other day on the show. They were speaking about how when you were in school, we as queer people used academics or excellence as a way to as a protective mechanism, because we knew that if I was excelling in school, you know me, I'm the girl that I think that I am, and it became that thing. But very often it's something that is traumatic in its experience, because you never got to just be normal with other kids.
Just be.
Every day you must always be on the top 10. Every day you must always be the top running what runner in school. Hour, guys. Every
top hockey player.
Yeah, top hockey player. Hour. For how long?
It's a lot, man.
No, it's not real. I mean, I'm very keen to find out, how do you navigate relationships with cishet men? Before we even get to relationships about love, how do you navigate relationships?
You take me from yourself. Don't do it.
No, how do you navigate relationships with cishet men? And I ask this question because very often I've gotten to a point where, because I've been friends with a lot of cishet people, straight guys, they rappers and navigating their lives and all of that stuff. And very often I've realized, and I've been in a predicament where I've been friends with somebody, when we're together, it's like the best time. I'm gonna and then when the friends come, there's a different energy.
Because Galoku.
Yeah, Galoku, it's like, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I feel weird now, because your friends are here and you're treating me a little bit different than what you do when we're together. So it has made me a little bit more anxious around cishet men, particularly in spaces that are not necessarily queer. Yeah. So I'm very keen to find out, how do you navigate a relationship when you're friends with somebody who is cishet and, they're out there?
I actually broke up with
I'm seeing it.
But now we're back together.
But I understand forgiveness is key. Forgiveness is key.
You know what happened there? So we had been friends and then he went to the mountain before I did. When he came back, it was a whole thing. Because now it's also people in your ear.
Yeah, that are whispering those things.
But okay, it's fine, I understand that. But when I start thinking, let's talk about that. Let must understand
where
this
that
coming from, And then also I'm all about protecting myself all the time.
Protect your energy.
I cut him off. I think we just stuck Kabana and Tavin this other night.
Chin. Guys.
And you'll come to me. You will. Who are you?
Yeah.
MonD. Do I know you?
Yeah.
But then when we got to a point where we had the conversation and he apologized and explained what was going on, and I saw the growth within him and what for me it was easier because it was also a thing of because I've not always been where I am and so accepting of self and everyone else, and
definitely
so but on the grander scheme of things, I fear him. Men,
because it's uncomfortable. Because they can put you in a very compromising situation sometimes. Because then now I'm in danger, because now I thought you were my friend.
Yeah.
And now because your friends have different views about me, then you are willing to let me be in danger.
What does that mean about you?
What does that mean about a friendship? Right?
So yeah.
Somebody asked me, how do I become a good ally? I was doing a school activations, and it was at Crawford, and they said to me, how do I become a good... And I said, that question was so beautiful. I said, you become an ally for me. You become an ally when you're able to defend me when I'm not there.
Yes.
When I'm not there, it's not about me being. When I'm there, I can defend myself. Me, I'm strong. I've built that thing. I'm visibly queer, my dear. I'm not hiding it. And we are living the life showing me. We are within it. So I said to them, You become a true ally when you're willing and able to defend me when I am not there.
And when you also want to learn.
When you want to learn, yes, and open to learning.
Yes, just having a queer friend does not mean you are like an ally, because it can still be very homophobic and people don't realize that. So for me, also just be teachable as well.
Be teachable as well. I love it.
Yay!
Listen, beautiful people, this conversation is so insightful, and I really love Sis Tamera so much, and I'm enjoying it dearly. But we're going to be taking a quick one just to go and have a look at our identity defined for the day and figure out what's going to be coming up next. It is the Queer Superhero Show right here on YouTube with myself, MonD, the Queer Superhero. Do make sure that you hashtag it and also follow us and make sure that you subscribe, darling.
Hi guys, I'm Kaisa Unfiltered and I'm a queer black woman, and my pronouns are they, them, she, her, and I'm attracted to femininity. Definitely, that's me.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Queer Superhero Show right here on YouTube with myself, MonD. That was Identity Defined. Do make sure that you get it on YouTube Shorts as well. Shout out to YouTube Shorts for being so amazing and being so inclusive, for having content such as this on their platform. I really, really love it so much. Still chatting to Sis Tamera. This conversation is amazing. We're having a boota. So listen, I want to talk about purpose. I mean, purpose is such a very important thing. Don't be scared. No, it's so crazy that you would be saying that somebody said something so amazing about purpose, and I think it was Caddy who actually affirmed it as well, is that purpose is not necessarily for me, and I agree with that. It's not something that you arrive to, it's something that you constantly are arriving to. So you can arrive to one purpose and then have another purpose to still arrive to, and I thought that was a beautiful description of it, you know. So I'm very keen to find out, how do you feel about purpose? What does purpose mean to you? Do you feel like you are now in a position where you're starting to discover what that looks like for you?
Yeah, I think when you find yourself in a space of happiness with what you're doing, for me that's purpose. At least, where you don't have to panic all the time about what's next, and you're bringing joy to the world. That's purpose for me. So again, like literally what you just said, it's
constantly arriving and living purposefully, intentionally as well.
All the intentional about everything that you do. That's purpose. Being able to wake up and being intentional about everything that you're gonna do on that day.
And it's not easy, hey?
It's not.
The energy that it takes to say, you guys think, I'm gonna go to continue, I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna go do what I need to do. I love that.
And for me also, most of the time we were so fixated on making the money.
Guys, instant results, instant gratification, instant whatever.
And for me, I'm at a point where I see beyond that now.
Yeah.
We're gonna get stressed and be like, yo, because guess what? You must stand here for the money.
Literally.
But when now you find yourself in a space where people are able to be like, you help me with this, you help me with this. That's purpose for me.
And building community.
Yeah,
because it boils down to
me,
that.
Yeah, if a person can come to me and be like, yo, I'm comfortable with myself because of you, and I did that doing what I love and I'm happy doing, that's purpose for me.
Wow, I love that. I love it. Do what you love, you will feel full in your life.
Oh my gosh.
So listen, I want to talk a little bit about cyberbullying. I mean, cyberbullying happens a lot. And I want to, before we even get, because we're going to talk about Big Brother now, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about cyberbullying. I mean, we've all had our fair share. We kind of were the people that grew up with social media's transition, you know, because Spuma BBM, you know, back in the days before. JBB, and you will see.
To go.
To go. You know, to go. Oh my God, to go.
Chat rooms.
So we come from that age, you know, and we really have kind of gotten to see the social media age kind of evolve, you know, form the new social media platforms that exist. I'm very keen to find out, have you experienced cyberbullying, and really like, what do you feel about cyberbullying, and how do you counteract that? Because a lot of the times it's because it's just so much, you know.
Again, for me, it's you just have to have constant conversations with yourself.
Yeah,
I'm big on affirmations now.
Yeah,
and back then
those
it was
wonders.
I remember we went hiking with a group of friends. They were shouting. I'm like, guys, why are you being weird?
Yeah,
because also in just mush and timani nazule. But now I'm big on affirmations. I'm big on centering myself and finding ways like meditation. I'm big on that.
I love that. Love meditation.
And I've gotten to a point where I understand it's not me.
Yeah,
I'm not the problem.
Yeah,
I'm not the drama. You're the drama.
You're the drama.
You're probably just projecting, and whatever you are gonna bully me about always, I've already dealt with that because confidence, I had to build it. I had to accept the things I can't change. For me to be able to even embody Sis Tamera was for me to be like, yo, you know what? It's not you. There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
But it sucks because at Kabeleni we are human. So
very true.
People do say some hurtful things.
Yeah.
But for me, it's a thing of awufundanga.
You're an uneducated person if you're still hating.
I always try to consider society, how they were brought up, because now I have been in a position where I have bullied people, and because of multiple reasons, not even me just justifying those
very
actions,
true. No,
but it's realizing how bad that was, and now that's why every chance I get to teach people that you can't be an asshole just for the sake of it. You need to think abantu abafani. I'm where I am right now because of my journey, but you'd bully this person as bulale. Yeah. And you don't even realize that you are one of the contributing factors to this person getting to a point where they're like, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I should just not exist. But it sucks. But now, especially now, I don't
even give for it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm a fucking superstar. What do you mean? I don't. And also, don't feed into it.
Yeah.
And also, social media. That's what you see on social media and all these.
In reality.
It's like me, someone making fun of my teeth. I can change that.
Yeah, you can.
Unfortunately, you can't change being a shit person.
Yeah, you can't.
You know, if you have a bad heart and so don't feed into everything that you see on socials.
Very true.
Yeah, it's hectic. It's hectic because of yonke lendo that's been created. Like we have to play into it. We have to look a certain. We have to have
dress up a certain.
Aesthetics.
Perception. Esthetician. We're living in that generation.
You need to ground yourself and know yourself. Learn yourself and allow yourself to learn and unlearn. It's going to be easy for you too, because now you are in control. Of your own.
Very true. So oh my God! What inspired you to actually enter Big Brother? And it's so crazy because I think we watched Big Brother Nigeria happen. We really it was hyped, it was everything, and we were all upset because we're like, yeah, Big Brother Mzansi, when is it gonna come back? Like, it's gonna be bring us the tea. Yes. And obviously because we are a queer inclusive country, and we've got rights. We were even me, I was one of those people who were advocating to make sure that in this new season, you have to have queer people, you have to, because if you don't, it's not a representation of the country which you speak of, And I think even in the new season, if they are going to bring it back, they need to be considering people who are Indian, who are colored, just that representation of the rainbow nation in which we speak of. I think that's something that people need to consider. We need more than one queer person in that damn thing. And I was like,
oh my gosh, there was just one. I'm just saying.
Who says there was just one?
But do you know why I'm saying that? Because we are on different journeys.
Very true.
So
I love that.
I always say, who says I was the only? I might have been the only
visibly
queer person, but that's also fine if there was someone else who was
still queer in the house, but was not expressive in that way.
And that should also be allowed. Wow. So again, who said I was the only?
Who said I was the only one?
Just saying.
So what inspired you to really get into Big Brother? I mean, I had friends who submitted their videos. I had friends who I helped shoot their videos. I had friends who really were like, yo, we want to be part of this thing. I want to be in it. And I was really, very supportive of them. I mean, what inspired you?
No, man, for me it was visibility and representation.
Yeah.
I had to see someone like me on screen. And because I know about Big Brother is such a huge platform. And for me, again, it's that same thing of don't accept me, but acknowledge the fact that I am taking up the space.
Yeah.
So I needed people, because it's a 24-hour show.
Yeah.
So if you want to see another character that's in the house, that's not up to you. Whether you like it or not, the camera is going to pan to Tamera and show what Tamera is doing. And not even I'm forcing myself on people, but just me existing within that space. It means so much for me, because it means that queer people are being allowed to occupy these spaces. That have been who are cisgender.
Very true.
Being able to tell my story as a queer person from my perspective, I needed that to happen, because it's more than just you know how we are always sexualized.
All the time. Deviants. All of these horrible things.
Hi, my name is Sis Tamera and I'm queer. Oh, you're queer. So how do you have sex? It's beyond that. And I wanted to show the human aspect of us queer people, because it's more than that. When now you think when you catch yourself with pumikas,
is it ice?
I have emotions. I get frustrated. I get anxious. And another thing for me that it was a lot of pressure because I did not want to play into these stereotypes. They're probably going to be dramatic. They're probably going to be theatrics. But I'm like, nah, I don't want to play into that. But if I was that person, then okay, it should also be fine.
Be allowed, to do that. Yeah,
But I wanted to show a different side. And also, especially these telenovelas, it's always the same narrative.
The same kind of queer character.
There's depth there. Because before I'm queer, I'm human. The same way
I have a story.
You're cisgender, you're human. You have your own story, you have your own traumas, you have your own aspirations. So I wanted to show that. I wanted to show that it's more than just me being queer. But at the same time, I'm on the show because I'm queer. Because we must
rise. We must also be presidents one day. I'm seeing it.
Right. We are the ones that are writing these speeches for the president. We are the ones doing the... No, it's high time for us to be in the forefront.
Yeah, very much so. Just there in the background, since
And I understand why it's been happening like that for the longest time. But now we need to be unapologetic about who and what we are.
Oh wow, so love it. What was the process like? I think a lot of the times people, when they think about Big Brother, they just think, one person auditions, they shoot a camera, then they're on the screen. No, I hear from the grapevine that it is a very lengthy process. People go through a ton of auditions and a ton of back and forth. Are you the right one? Type of thing. I'm very keen to find out what is the process like.
Right. Because we are in the interest of non-disclosure agreements.
It's not NDAs. Just give us a little bit of a subliminal.
But basically, it's archetypes, obviously, like any other show. But the biggest thing is they really just want to know you.
Yeah. So there is time for that, where they really go through the process of actually knowing you as well. I like that.
No, the self-tape is just
it's just there. That's all I need. I love that.
And again, one thing that Big Brother focuses on is mental health. Because of the environment and everything that's happening.
Yeah, because you're locked up.
Obviously, you're going to be triggered also. They need to do that because they need... And for me, that's why I loved the show so much, because of the growth that came with the show for me. And finding myself in those situations and how I remember there was a point where I asked to see a psychologist. My brother was like, I'm going to get back to you. I went again. It's like, okay, I'm going to get back to you. And then but then when I went for my other diary session and we had that conversation, I was actually like, thank you for not getting me the psychologist, because I was able to actually deal with that situation. I got to understand so much about myself, especially in that environment, but not only in that environment, even beyond the house.
Yeah.
So mental health is the biggest.
It's a big theme of
during
that.
The process it's also something they focus on.
Wow.
But it's people must not come here and think they must take a take.
Yeah, I know. Hey, we're making television. We're making television.
It must be intentional.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be on the show?
Yeah, we're making television. Yeah.
You can't just come in, get out. You need to commit to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy.
Wow. I mean, do you know about the ballroom scene in Johannesburg? The Vogue culture, the ballroom, everything that makes this community very brilliant. One of our many aspects that are beautiful. Yeah. I mean, have you attended any of ballrooms around the city? And how has that experience been for you? Have you not?
I've actually gone to only one Vogue night.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
In Newtown.
Yes.
I lived. And I think I've run away from, but now I'm intentional
about it. Yeah,
because there was this sense of discomfort with queer spaces.
Yeah,
because of what's expected of you, how you need to look,
very true.
How you need to act. So I've ran away from those spaces until I started allowing myself to be in queer spaces. And the very first one was the queer market, which was in Brum, and how that space was and how accepting it was. It was easier for me to be like, okay, no man, it's probably not this bad. And because and because also sometimes we make assumptions about people.
So we do.
When we find we will go
in there, then we're
already here.
Yeah, we're already. You get what I'm saying? I always tell people, don't approach things with the preconceived notions that you have, you know, because already you're thinking this space is not for me, it's whatever. Open your mind.
Yes.
Go in there as yourself and be open about it. You will meet interesting people.
Yes.
You know, you will be inspired, you will be motivated, you will think better of yourself, you know, because as a people we're all ever evolving and ever changing. And if I was a bitch 3 years ago, you know, I'm not a bitch. Maybe I was a bitch. I was, you know, I thought I was the girl in town. I thought I was the whatever. That was me 3 years ago. But 3 years I've learned and I'm a better person now, you know. And I think we need to give space for people to reform, space for people to really overcome who they used to be, because we're not the same people that we were years ago, you know. And I'll agree with you. A lot of what the queer community sometimes had, and it makes me angry, is the clique culture. You know, and the clique culture is something that is really, really holding us back from a lot of things, you know. And I always tell people we don't have to be friends, but let us respect each other. Let us be welcoming to each other, you know. We don't have to be communicating in the same spaces and whatever. We all have different, that makes us seen as different, because even within the community we are different.
Yes.
We like different things. Some people are into sports. Some people are into drag race. Some people are into whatever. That's us. But it doesn't mean now we must be exclusionary of each other.
Imagine we're really fighting.
Society.
No, we must.
We must fight each other.
Guys. But now I'm very excited. And I'm excited because of what the culture is doing.
Yeah, and how it's evolving, right?
But the one I went to here in just to feel seen and just to be allowed to just be yourself.
Wherever and whenever.
All your flaws, all your nudity, all your whatever. Come.
We will accept you here.
Exist, man. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that abantu abaninzi just want to be allowed to exist.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. So
it's but just let me live.
Let me live.
Don't put me in stress. Everyday anxiety.
You know?
Have you ever thought of starting a house?
Sorry?
Have you ever thought of starting a house? Like the house of Tamera. The house of Tamera. Guys, I'm ready. I know I've got the house of Monde, but I'm ready to be a part-time housemate.
Oh my gosh. I've been told that I'm a dictator, perfectionist.
That's good. Imagine you guys entering the Sis Tamera house is coming.
I wouldn't mind, man. Like, I don't want to close myself off to anything. I don't want to
because there's power in that. And you educate so many people.
Yeah. So I definitely would, but the responsibility that comes with it.
Yeah.
But one thing I know I want is to join the house.
Come join my house, baby. We will recruit you. Guys, we might have a new member. The house of Monde might just have an official member. This might be great. Okay, we're not making any official announcements.
Put me on record.
No.
And then they see me. All of it.
Are you you just said you were in our
loyalty.
No, it's not official yet, guys. Don't take it as official.
But
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I am.
You should be.
Scared. I can't do the death drop. I still can't work and
no, even me, I'm still learning. And I used to be a ballet dancer. I think I'm getting sick these days.
Oh my gosh.
I was that girl. I can still do a split, you know, every day.
I know where you do that split, girl.
Oh my God, I'm dying. Okay, let's really. You are a person of many talents. You know, you really have got a lot of talents, and and now there is this queer short film that I found out about recently, and I was like, oh my God, when did you even shoot that, and how did you actually get into acting? I mean, I think it's something that I find a lot of queer people want to do, and I encourage it as well. You know, I've just got started in a movie called Surviving Guys on ETV, which is brilliant. You know, so I think it's very important for us to be out there like that and to be seen in many industries within entertainment, within the media industry. So how did you get into that?
I've been
You've been
and people just see you once on TV and they think, this one just got a lucky dondo.
Yeah.
But I've been pushing. That's actually the second short film I've done.
Yeah.
Apart from having gotten a cameo on the Queen.
Yeah.
But you know how it is, man, how you just wanna keep hustling. Especially when you're freelancing.
Yeah, very true.
And I never understood why I was drawn to acting, but it's again being obsessed with. I consume a lot of TV.
Yeah,
and I'm like, actually, I could play this character. Actually, I could have played this character better.
Yes,
I want to be pushed
to really activate this thing. Yeah,
but I never understood what that meant for me until a very good friend of mine, Sis Tamera, my guardian angel, I gave him a chance, and I got to work with her on my very first film, which went to the Bricks Summit. Then I was like, and that was my first gig. I went there, nothing training.
Yeah.
So I was like, actually, no, man. I can do this.
You can do this,
man. And it's so important to have people that believe in you.
Yeah.
And not even because you're seeking validation outside of self, but no, I believe in you. You can do this. Just do this. Don't get fear, get anxiety, just do it. And that's where it started. But now it's stressful because it's like this industry, there's no security.
Yeah, it's quite turbulent.
Again, especially when you're a freelancer. So this opportunity came about. My friend sent me a screenshot. It was a tweet. Auditions, I went and I committed to the character because I already went there. I was like, and I got the role, man. And it was a thing of, I need to keep honing my craft because I've never gone to school for acting, but I need to
keep on it. I love that. A lot of people don't know when you get that, because it's a calling essentially, when you are directed to a certain part of your life and a gift that you can serve, you then begin to realize, okay, I've got this gift now, I want to sharpen it, I want to craft it, I want to make sure that I really I respect the craft and I'm able to apply myself to that. I think that's a beautiful mentality to have.
It's
nothing.
You need
nothing.
And I'm still gonna go back to school, guys.
Yes.
Wow. You
want to go to the ground.
That was supposed to start there.
You want to go to the surface.
That's it. And I'm saying this on national television because we are manifesting a duty. I see myself on Lion King.
Yeah.
I've been saying this.
Oh, yes. That would be beautiful. I would see you in that beautiful body. Baby,
my God.
Look, I need to find out, is there enough queer representation within the media industry? And we've spoken about how there's been this prototype of a queer character that we've seen on television that doesn't necessarily have depth. And so is there enough representation, and what can be done to really kind of improve that?
Yeah,
sip tea. I wonder what people are wondering what we're drinking in here.
Maybe
that's why we're so loud.
It's not like what it used to be.
Yes.
It's
we've got to acknowledge that part.
But there's still more to be done because there are so many stories that need to be told. The same way that we are able to tell stories like Mezuki. I'm sorry. Mezuki being the trunk of Lapixaleni.
Yes.
Her traumas and everything that's happening. We should be able to tell stories like Tamtura, who is queer.
Yeah.
But I fit what being queer is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this because a lot of the times who find me attractive or they don't even understand why they like me, but and sometimes they even see me as a girl, you know, and I don't understand that. For me, that's already a queer story, understanding what person is going through. So there's a lot that can be done, especially like when it comes to communities that are forgotten, like deep rurals,
where those stories, the trans people that were so instrumental in rural areas. I think for me, people know nothing, and the people that I've met, the stories. Oh man,
there's so much. But I think especially now, where the industry is headed.
Digital is the future.
It's no longer that we will include queer people when it suits the brand, for brand inclusion. It's the thing of we are including them and they are here to stay. So I'm excited.
Loving that direction.
And us being allowed to be ourselves, however we see ourselves.
I think that's
having
beautiful.
nails and be like, actually, but I still have nails.
You can shop and change that. Be that. You can be both on one day. I love that thing. It's so empowering.
It's very exciting and I think that's why we need to support queer filmmakers.
Support us, guys.
Queer stories.
You know it. Listen, you came here, you spoke about what do you think about the sexual roles that people play and when people ask you whether you're verse or top, how do you feel about that question? I always tell people I'm a superpower bottom. I'm a superpower bottom. I never lied. I like to take dick. I'm good at it. And I will never lie to anybody. Why must I lie? No, guys, I'm a superpower bottom and I love it. I love to take dick.
You mentioned it. Yeah, I've struggled with it. Even me, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, okay, let's try this dick thing. Because for me, taking dick, there was a power that was taken away from me.
Yes, that you thought,
It's because of indlela and hearing all these conversations.
Very
but
true.
for me, it's boring, man. If you do identify as whatever, it's okay. But for me personally, can you not just force me to? That's the kind of
All off, let's just go. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever makes you feel safe within yourself.
Yeah.
So that's okay. But
was your family very supportive about you being on Big Brother Mzansi?
Yo, they did not know until.
No,
man. I had previously dropped out. So now it was going to be a thing of, this one is dropping out again, you know. They didn't know until I think 3 weeks before I actually came back to Joburg, because I remember I went home and I stayed a day and I had to come back. The process, and I went back home again for the rest, for like a week. Then I came back, so they didn't know, but I had to explain it to them what the show is about and what the show could potentially mean for me. And that, guys, I'm still gonna bring back this degrees.
So don't worry.
They did understand and they did support, and I was very anxious of the things that they would find out on the show. Then I was like, oh my gosh, because I just wanted to be myself fully, you know, on the show, and not leave any stone unturned.
Any story, I love that.
For me, it was, what does this mean for them? Are they gonna see me differently because of the things that I've shared? But I knew that to who you are, And trust me, I haven't gone home ever since I came out.
Really? Because you still have to go back home. Home.
So it's still like, oh my god. But communication over the phone
has been really beautiful.
My family is so supportive, and we got to this point now because also I'm not as defensive. I'm willing to share my experiences and teach them about who I am and what I am, and this journey of being queer, man, in South Africa. And being
me. Yo, what has your life been like after you've left Big Brother? Like, I can imagine. I mean, like, Big Brother is this big platform that just makes everybody be known, seen, visible everywhere. How has it been navigating that energy? Because I know your life is not the same, honey.
Oh my gosh. Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. It's crazy. And my thing is, I wanted to go back to my old normal. So now I'm slowly getting used to my new normal, which is I don't belong to myself anymore. Which is a big thing for me, because I belong to the people, because I went on that platform and I was
knowing
like,
very well.
I'm doing it for the people. So it's just understanding that, understanding what that means, but it gets tough at times.
I can imagine.
Don't always want to be Sis Tamera. Sometimes I just want to be.
You just want to relax.
I just want to do my thing. I just want to go out to Kitcheners and have a beer. But the love is crazy. And I think it's because going into the house and now even being the first person in the house, you know, I expected people not to support me, not to love me, not to, because I'm queer. You know, that was the first thing that I thought of. So when I was nominated and I was saved that 1 week, I was like, my fucking word. These motherfuckers
believe in me, y'all.
Actually, we're moving forward as a country. You know?
I mean, looking at how far you've gone in the competition really was just beautiful. You know, because like for me, it was motivating to see that. It was motivating to see, and every week we were always there ramming, you know, kind of just tweeting, encouraging. I mean, I remember people sending me stuff because I was like, yo, we want this so bad. Because for us, it's just about, again, the representation that you mentioned, that visibility. You know, visibility is so important in just every single thing that we do and how we navigate through life, you know. And I think I appreciate your family for being supportive. I appreciate you for existing in the entirety. What's your vision? What's the vision that you have for your brand now? I mean, now that you are this person, and Sis Tamera, we know. I mean, I think you have every person, not just brand within the industry, but a vision for yourself, you know, for the future. What do you want to achieve with everything that you've achieved thus far?
I just want to put other queer people on, bro.
Like that's my spillion.
I need to do that, and it's because now I was fortunate to have grown up in a family that was fortunate more than others. But and as I did when I came out, I was like,
and that's a reality of many people.
There are people that don't have the support, people that are living with friends on the streets. There's so much that's happening. So for me, whatever I'm doing now, I need to pull them up. If it means that I'm supporting your cooking business, we all need to win. So that's the bigger vision of everything. You know, with outside me in the entertainment and what I want to achieve for myself. But for me, this is important because also I feel like if I had someone like that, because again, oh my gosh. Okay, no, I feel like I'm gonna digress.
Yeah,
but anyways, if I had a person that was gonna be there with me, and
had that representation, that superhero, that person we speak about,
in my life, and who's gonna tell me you don't have to pressure yourself into anything. You can take your time. It's gonna be fine. This is what's happening to you, and that's okay. I feel like my process
is just
of finding self gonna be easier and less, But again, everything happens for a reason.
Wow, what is it like living as a queer person in South Africa? I mean, I think this will lead me to my ending question, but what is it like? Because I asked this question, I've experienced a lot. I mean, I've been doing activism work again since I was 16 and all of that stuff, and I've seen a lot of things. I've worked with so many people, so many organizations, so many stories that I have dealt with. I've recently, last year, lost my friend, Sam Junior Mbata, to a very heinous crime, that happened to him. It was just very unfortunate for me, and it was a very difficult time for me last year when that did happen. So I'm very keen to find out, what is it like for you living as a visibly queer person in South Africa? And I want that reality to be heard, because you are a person who's living here and who's experiencing that every day.
Why you unongikhalisa?
Siyavala ke ngoku.
Andiyenzi loo nto.
Please, you must go right here.
It's scary for me, but again, in the same breath, it's being queer in South Africa, it's endless possibilities for me, because I choose to see past the fear, the anxiety, and everything that comes with. But again, I'm very cognizant of the fact that I might get killed at any moment. I realize that. Yeah. But for me, I'm very intentional about living, because I'm not gonna hide who I am. Because of that. As much as I am aware that it's a possibility in very true. And I think that's why also my mom was struggled with my identity for the longest time, because it was about her fearing for my life.
My mother said the same thing.
Yes, it was more than
she said, I didn't even know. And then when we came out, she was hurt that I came out to her, but only later. I was scared that you would be violated. I was scared of the violence that you'd experience, and it just made me sob. I sobbed,
And it's
I
like
understand
when you
that.
get violated, and people are like, that's not violation. But
no, it is.
It still is. Yeah. So the fear is still there, the anxiety is still there. But one thing I'm gonna do is show up and show off.
Show up and show
guys,
off.
because we are queer, my dear.
We're queer, my dear.
Dude, I'm so happy. I'm happy because also my happiness does not depend on the next person.
It doesn't.
So,
What would you like to say to another queer person out there who really wants to join Big Brother, but who also just really wants to be themselves, and who wants to identify the way in which Sis Tamera ngayekho? What would you like to say to them? And they're young out there. They're just looking at you. They're just like, wow. So bold. I want that. I identify with that, but I don't know how to, What would you like to say to them?
You literally just said it. Just be yourself. And one thing you need to understand, okay, I'm sure it's different for different people because we enter the competition for different reasons.
Yeah.
But from my perspective, just be yourself. Trust me, that's going to take you far, because it's also easier. Because when you assume this character, imagine now you have to act as this person.
All the time. Yeah.
If you just be yourself, and for something that I struggled with, just allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
and just
please. Thank you for admitting that.
So just be yourself. Allow people into your space, and also take your time. Yeah. Like you said, how I'm very bold. Sis Tamera, guys, is my alter ego.
Yeah, we all have an alter ego. Yeah, we all have an alter ego. I get it.
It's just my alter ego. And I got to this point. It was a journey.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't feel pressured to be anyone or anything. Take your time. And again, it's having those conversations with self.
Yeah.
And again, going to how we identify. If you wake up and you feel like you're bisexual, cool. If you wake up, you feel like you're pan, cool. If you wake up, you're like, okay, no, I'm straight today.
Yeah, it's fine. Nobody's pressurizing you to be anything.
It's your journey, as long as you are safe in Gasekaya and you are respectful of everyone around you, and you are respectful of self, because we neglect ourselves. We think just because I'm respecting you, it's fine. But we need to respect ourselves. We need to respect our bodies, because
it'd be rough in these streets.
It's the Lord.
Listen, this concludes this part of the conversation, but it's not done until we play. Who would you top bottom of us? I love this game. It's literally like our favorite thing on the show. Like, we love it because it's fun, it's quirky, it's just it also just demystifies sex, and it just kind of just gets rid of the sexualization, because it's a fun game. All right, so we're gonna give you 3 names. you gotta choose who would you top, who would you bottom for, who would you first with.
Everybody.
You know. Please do not do this to us. Okay, cool. I don't know these names. Okay, I've got Sir Trill here. Okay, we got Sir Trill. We got Gas. What do I get? Gas one. What do I get? Gas. Get Gas. And we've got Lerato Khanyago. Yeah.
I know I already have my answer as a trend.
Okay.
Because I have this thing about power, guys. Also,
everybody loves power.
I'm dom sub.
Oh,
but
yeah, no, but you have to be both. I'm
dom
both.
sub.
No, I like dom and sub. I like to shift. I like the shift of power.
Yes,
one day I want to be in charge. The next I want you to be in charge. Okay, let's not do this.
So, with that being said, definitely I'm letting Lerato Khanyago top me.
Oh wow, that's sexy.
Guys, I feel like that woman is so powerful. I don't know, maybe I have this thing that I've created in my head about her, and she's beautiful.
Yeah. And she's got an amazing aura.
You see now?
Yeah.
I'm literally seeing her with a strap on.
Yeah.
And a fucking whip. And have you seen her heels?
Yeah, I was literally thinking that I just saw a vision of her heels in my I like literally. Yeah, she always wears these shoes that are just like
or leather. Definitely she's topping me.
I love that.
Settle, I'm topping.
And like I said,
and people know the things will never believe when I tell them, but yeah, beautiful man.
Yeah,
I don't know much about him, but beautiful man.
Yeah, and so obviously you're gonna be versing with Gas.
Yes, and do you know why? And it's oh my gosh,
I'm horny.
It's again the power thing.
Yeah,
I see myself being overpowered by Gash, but I still see myself overpowering
him as well
because I see a sense of vulnerability within him as much as it's very macho. But I see me being the big spoon. Also, and because I've experienced Gash in the house as well, so I've gotten to see those different sides too. Hopefully, he was being authentic. You'll never know. But what I chose to take away from those experiences, Gash is a sweetheart.
Oh
and
my god!
Also macho. So flip flop. You got to say this one.
And that is how we wrap it up, people. Listen, this has been the most beautiful and insightful conversation that I continue to have on this show. Every conversation I have on this platform, it's worth it. It makes sense. It's so fruitful. It's so insightful. Thank you so much for sharing yourself with us today. I've appreciated it. Thank you for existing. Thank you for being you, because you matter. You are powerful. You are beautiful. You are beyond measure. You know, within just the person that you are. And I continue to flourish.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I really love you, and I just can't wait to see what this world has in store for you. Not this country, but this world.
Yes, we're going international.
We're going international.
I receive. Thank you so much.
All right, beautiful people. This is the Queer Superhero Show right here on YouTube with myself, MonD, the Queer Superhero. Do make sure that you go and follow Sis Tamera on all their social media platforms. Keep up with their career. Keep up with every single thing that they're doing. I think it's so incredible for us as queer people to support each other. My name is MonD, the Queer Superhero. And remember to love yourself in all shades, honey. Bye, bye. Mwah. Oh, God. That was so beautiful. Yeah, that was beautiful.